Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the February Rooster Booster here at the Owensboro Convention Center. So glad to see y'all with us this morning. We are going to begin our program with our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll ask that you please stand. And leading us first in the invocation this morning, we have with us Ethan Smith, who is president of the Davis County High School FFA chapter, and also going to invite up Kalia Green and Tanzania Houston from Girls Incorporated of Owensboro, Davis County.
You're not usually shy.
Yeah. No rush, ladies. We'll wait. We got it. We're good. Y'all take your time. We don't want to go to work anyway. It's fine.
Please bow your head for God's blessing. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing all of us to be here this morning to unite as community. May we all be strengthened with virtue, character, and honesty. Let us always be thankful for you sending your only Son to die on the cross for all of our sins. Let this food nourish our bodies. Bless the farmers that grew it, truckers that trucked it, and the hands that prepared it. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You know, that's probably good. Let's do pledge first. Let's do pledge first.
Say it. Say a pledge.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can be seated. Okay.
Y'all got this.
Good morning, chamber members.
Happy New Year. I'm Kalia.
And I'm Tanzania.
We are so happy to be here this morning. It is pretty early, but we don't mind. It's nice to socialize with people in the community doing great things.
We're here today to invite each and every one of you to the 22nd Athena Awards, Thursday, February 27th.
Never heard of the Athena Awards? Let me just share this with you. It is a time to honor exceptional leaders in our community who seek to inspire others to achieve excellence in their professional and personal lives.
Be here on February 27th. Doors open at 11, and the program will begin at 11:30. Tickets are $50 a person or $400 for a play table of 8. Grab all of your strong, smart, and bold friends to support girls just like us.
We want to see all of you February 27th. Make your reservation by calling 270-684-7833 or email us at girlsincoboro@bellsouth.net.
Thanks, ladies. Good job, y'all. Thank you. Good job, Kalia and Tanzania. All right, so you can actually stand again. It is time for our Mingle Minute. However, there's a little thing called the flu that's going around. So we are not going to have a secret shaker this morning. We're going to have a secret waiver.
Yeah.
So feel free to mingle and pass your germs back and forth. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's up, So our secret waiver today is a junior at Apollo High School and the chamber intern, Emma Bell. There's Emma. All right, so who did you wave at today that we're going to acknowledge and recognize? Stephanie Bertram, where are you? Oh, there she is. Come on up. We have for you some Tamiflu and this lovely gift basket. Celebrating Owensboro. Hey, congratulations. Representing United Way right there, everybody. Give her a big round of applause. So at this time, we're going to recognize our brand new chamber members. So let's get to that. Actually, a pretty good stack this morning. I love that. So we have All Stots, been in business for over 50 years, dedicated to providing their customers with a one-stop source for office supplies, janitorial supplies, break room supplies, custom signs, banners, and custom printing. They believe in treating all their customer relationships as special and strive to meet or exceed all their expectations. They believe in giving back to the community and participating in charitable civic awareness, responsibility, and commitment. Allstat's amazing service, lasting solutions tailored to you. So please welcome David Mays and Jason Elder with Allstats. The mission of Borrowed Hearts is to lead the efforts in which every foster family attains the rights to clothing, hygiene, development, and a loving support system. Their vision is to provide foster families the abilities to shine by sharing, helping, inspiring, nourishing, and educating. Borrowed Hearts values raising awareness, growing community partnerships, and advocacy. So please welcome Tina Herm, Audra Waits, Amanda Van Bussum, Hillary Patterson, and Scarlett Goodman with Borrowed Hearts. Home Inspired opened in 2005 to provide Owensboro's residents a place to buy beautiful furniture to live on and enjoy. Home Inspired offers a variety of furniture and accessories for every room of your house. It is also a great place to find a gift for your girlfriend or yourself. In 2014, a second location opened in Louisville, and in 2017, a third location in Nashville, Tennessee. So please welcome Christy Coombs, Kelly Hendricks, and Amber Jewell with Home Inspired. Keller Williams Elite, Rochelle Johnson, born and raised right here in Owensboro, has 2 teenage children and enjoys running, completing 1 full marathon and 10 half marathons in 6 years. Jeez, can you feel your legs? She started with Keller Williams last February and has found great success in her real estate career. In November, she was a top 5 listing agent in her office. She looks forward to this year with all of you and the chamber. Y'all give a big round of applause to my friend right there, Rochelle Johnson with Keller Williams Elite. Mandy Stone, born and raised right here in Owensboro, graduated from OCC with a degree in applied science, then went on to KWC where she majored in corporate communication. She has worked for Gavin Roberts for 3 years, recently transitioned into her role as an agent, which is exciting. She enjoys spending time with her boyfriend and their 4 kids. They attend Walnut Memorial Church, and their favorite activities include all things sports. Go Vikings! Please welcome Mandy Stone with Kentucky Farm Bureau. Founded in 1963, McBrayer Law Firm has provided successful legal representation and counsel to businesses and professionals throughout Kentucky, surrounding states, and nationwide. Their clients continue to come back year after year, not only because of the swift response and personal attention from their experienced attorneys, but because they deliver quality counsel and results across a wide range of legal matters. Their MML&K Government Solutions Group, a strong and reliable advocate for clients, leveraging a combination of political muscle and procedural acumen to protect the business interests and advance the public policy agendas of their clients. So please welcome Owensboro natives Jaron Blanford from the Lexington Law Office and James Higdon from the Lobbying Office in Frankfort, and Cindy Effinger from the firm's Louisville office with McBrayer PLLC. The Southeast Davis County Water District was formed in 1967, has approximately 7,500 customers. The West Davis County Water District was formed in 1969 and has 5,500 customers. The districts serve water to commercial, residential, and rural areas of Davis County. They strive to provide safe and reliable water to the customers of Southeast and West Davis County in order to promote and protect the health of the community at the most effective economic price possible. So please welcome William Higdon, Keith Crampy, and Christina O'Brien with the Southeast and West Davis County Water Districts. And when it comes to your home, Unique Surfaces has you covered, offering GAF certified roofing services and general contracting on projects small and large. Unique Surfaces also specializes in epoxy flooring, ideal for residential and commercial applications. Anything from garages, basements, restaurants, laboratories, schools, and home kitchens. Founder and licensed insurance adjuster William Bodney strives to exceed the customer's expectations and provide quality that you can trust. Unique Surfaces is building a reputation for excellence for all your roofing, contracting, and flooring needs. So please welcome William Bodney with William Bodney and Holly Bodney with Unique Surfaces. At this time, we're going to recognize our elected officials and special guests with us today. We'll ask that they all stand. We'll reserve our applause to the very end. Kentucky State Senator Matt Caslin is with us today. City Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright. City Commissioner Larry Conder. Davis County Sheriff Keith Kane's in the back. Davis County PVA Rachel Pence Foster's with us. From Leader McConnell's office, we have Jonathan Schell and Shane Noem. From Owensboro Public Schools, Jeremy Edge is here today. And from Davis County Public Schools, we have Todd Anderson, Dr. Tom Payne, James Morgan, and Superintendents Matt Robbins and Dr. Matthew Constant. So a round of applause for all of our special guests and elected officials with us today. Thank you all so much. And it's time for our Ambassador of the Month and snagging a big old $50 gift card to Tractor Supply. A big round of applause for our friend Deb Jones from Kentucky Wesleyan. Congratulations. Great job. Thanks, Deb. One more time for Deb, everybody. So thrilled to have with us as breakfast sponsor today our friends from Davis County Farm Bureau, and to speak this morning, y'all please welcome to the podium our president, Joan Hayden.
I told him we weren't supposed to shake hands. We're supposed to do the elbow bump or something. Good morning. As Chad said, I'm Joan Hayden, president of the Davis County Farm Bureau. I would like to welcome you to the February Rooster Booster. But at this time, I'd like for the Board of Directors to stand and be recognized from the Davis County Farm Bureau. These directors strive daily to protect and support local, state, and national ag issues for the continued growth of agriculture. Now I'd like for our agency managers and our agents to stand and be recognized. I want to thank them for their dedicated work to keep moving our Farm Bureau toward the future. Thank you, guys. I know you all got up early to get here, but now picture this. It's 5:15 a.m. While the rest of the Commonwealth sleeps, our farmers are hard at work putting food on the table of Kentuckians, the nation, and the world. Not for recognition or praise or even thanks, but for the opportunity to do it again tomorrow. Kentucky Farm Bureau salutes Kentucky farm families, and we renew our commitment to being the voice of Kentucky agriculture because we are stronger together. Farming in Kentucky has seen dramatic changes over the past century. New technologies, new practices, new ways of bringing products to the market. In the midst of these changes, the future of Kentucky ag depends and demands that tomorrow's farmers be educated in the field and in the classroom. Kentucky Farm Bureau proudly supports giving young farmers the tools, skills, and knowledge they need to succeed because we are stronger together. From the farm field to the legislative chambers of the state and the nation, it takes leadership at all levels to meet the ever-changing needs of Kentucky's ag communities. Kentucky Farm Bureau supports that leadership as an advocate, a service provider, and an organization by giving leaders the tools, encouragement, and voice they need to succeed because we are stronger together. At this time, I'd like to show a short video with American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duval and a Kentucky Farm Bureau President Mark Haney. Mr. Duval was our speaker last year at the Rooster breakfast, and this video has some clips from that breakfast. You might even recognize some of your neighbors.
American Farm Bureau is a partnership with all our states, but I really look at it as being a relationship. So our relationship with Kentucky Farm Bureau is strong, which means the Kentucky farmer has a very strong voice here in D.C. because of that relationship and the working together as a team.
What American Farm Bureau does for us here in Kentucky is they're on the Hill every day. When we say we're an advocate for our members in Washington, D.C., we depend on American Farm Bureau to be able to take a big package of that for us. But we can only do it when we all work together and take a single voice for agriculture.
For 100 years, this organization's done a fantastic job, and our forefathers had so much intelligence and knowledge of what they wanted to accomplish by creating that one united voice. And we can become very strong working together with states like Kentucky Farm Bureau and great leadership like Mark Haney and that board of directors.
Zippy Duvall and I became friends when he was a state president of Georgia, and we worked together for many years.
He's become a person that I go to confide in. He gives me great advice and he's a great leader. That's why he sat on my executive committee since I've been elected here.
I've thoroughly enjoyed serving with Zippy. Zippy is a caring person. He understands agriculture. He loves American Farm Bureau. He loves his job, and he understands the importance of being stronger together.
Well, Kentucky Farm Bureau is a great team player. And I look at Farm Bureau as a three-legged stool. One is the most important leg in that stool is that County Farm Bureau and that county member. The second leg is that State Farm Bureau, their board of directors and that great staff that they have. And then that third leg is American Farm Bureau and the great staff that we have here. Working together, we support that stool and we support our farmers in a way that makes us strong and helps us provide that one united voice to making policy here in Washington, D.C. So it is just crucial for us to be able to be that teammate so that we can all stand together and be strong.
We are the voice of agriculture. That's been our mission since we began in 1919. But it's hard for us to be everything to every person. So we depend on being able to talk to their leadership, advocate for their causes, and we're so effective in doing that. We're stronger when we move together.
At this time, it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium from Davis County Cooperative Extension, Clint Hardy.
Thanks, Chad. And on behalf of the Extension staff here in Davis County, I'm going to ask them to stand over here for us, please. We are honored to serve in Davis County. We're honored to co-sponsor this event with the Davis County Farm Bureau. Both organizations have worked together in this community for nearly 100 years as an organized group. Of course, our roots are run deeper than that. So it's a pleasure to be able to come in, serve with this group, this organization, and sponsor events like this. I applaud the Chamber of Commerce and the agribusiness committee that has really earmarked February for the past several years for Rooster Booster, serving as drawing attention to the economic opportunities and challenges that agriculture faces and contributes to this community. So it's really honored to bring agriculture to this stage in conjunction with the Farm City Breakfast that I know Candace will allude to later. This morning, the opportunity with Rod moderating this panel of early career farmers and entrepreneurs is really important for this community. We're coming off a period of very high economic revenues and contributions to this community. We were about a $200 million gross crop revenue county in 2013. That's only on cash generated from crop production in Davis County. And you all know that many of our farm businesses operate in counties surrounding us as well. You fast forward to 2017, we had an erosion of $50 million. 25% of our gross revenue receipts declined during that period of time. So basically, we've had 25% of the revenue that we enjoyed in 2013 taken away just due to an erosion in commodity prices and revenues. So that kind of sets the stage for the entrepreneurial leadership and ideas that we're seeing with the things that will be discussed this morning. So this panel discussion is going to be a really, really neat showcase to identify these individuals that are doing some neat things, but then also draw out and flesh out some of the other opportunities that exist in our community. So we're very thankful for that. Last, I'll draw attention to the T-shirts. Our Extension District Board and our Leadership Advisory Councils want to do something special for this group. You know, with it being basketball season, we thought we'd send everybody out with some UK T-shirts. It's a mixed match of sizes. If you get one you don't like, do another mingle minute and exchange on the way out. Or we've got some other, we'll have some other T-shirts out there along the way, especially for those of you all standing along the back wall. Make sure you leave with a T-shirt. And if you don't leave, we'll know you're a Louisville fan with it. So, Candace?
Yes, sir.
Hilariously, my friend Susan Gesser, who is a U of L fan, made comment about those blue shirts earlier. But definitely take those home with you. Susan, you don't have to. I know it's like throwing garlic at a vampire, isn't it? Okay, so at this time, we have our chamber update and present that for you each and every month. Our president and CEO, Candace Brake.
Good morning, everybody. It's sunny inside today, isn't it? To get out and see our neighbors. We have a busy month here at the chamber. We want to start by talking about West Kentucky Thank You Night, which is next week. They say 80% of success is just showing up. And our community proves here month after month that we have that recipe for success because we show up here. I think Jonathan Shell looked at Senator Cecil and I today and he said, "You have this crowd every month?" I'm like, Matt said, "Yeah, we do. We have more than this sometimes, but yeah, we do." So we show up. So next week, it's time for us to show up in Frankfort. We are hosting West Kentucky Thank You Night with chambers all across West Kentucky. We will have the West Kentucky Caucus members there and the governor will be there speaking. So we ask for you to consider coming. We do have a bus that we've sponsored leaving Sports Center at 1 o'clock. Thanks, Laura, for letting us meet at the Sports Center. But we also ask you, if you can't make it on the bus, consider driving up. It's really important for everyone to see members of Greater Owensboro there together. You know, they say if you're not at the table, you get served for dinner. We got to be at the table. And part of being at the table is for them to see our faces, to remember Owensboro's here, and that we count and that we matter. So please consider being there. It's an important part of being part of the community. With that being said, we also have another opportunity, too, on February 22nd and March the 21st to meet with our state legislators. As our General Assembly moves through the session, we are monitoring bills and tracking legislation that impacts each one of our members. But this is your way to interface with our General Assembly members and talk to them about things that might be a particular concern to you or your business, your nonprofit, or your organization. Those are on Saturday mornings, the 22nd and the 21st. They're at the chamber on our 3rd floor in our conference room, and it's 8 a.m. We'll get you out in an hour. We'll even have donuts for you. It's a good way to fellowship and get your Saturday started and really learn what's important to your fellow business leaders in the community. And by the way, that's open to members only, so it's one of your perks of being a chamber member. Our 2020 Athena Award Program will be on February 27th in this room. It's sponsored by German American Bank. And I'll tell you, Girls Incorporated, as you saw this morning, they're doing fantastic things in our community. This morning, we have several of the past Athena Award winners who are here, and I'd like to introduce them. Every one of these individuals here has been, I see them mentoring not just young women, but young men in the community and really giving back to the future of Owensboro, Davis County. So I'd like, would you all stand when I say your names? That way we'll all, and I know you all a little bit. So Virginia Braswell from Habitat for Humanity, Lamont Mayfield, retired from the Health Department, Deb Philman, retired from the Health Department, also my neighbor, Jay Noble, Brenda Clayton, who is a Chamber Board member, Cindy Fiorella, Helen Mountjoy, who puts up with my phone calls a lot. What do I do, Helen? Sister Amelia Stinger from Mount St. Joseph, Marianne Smith Edge, and Susan Montalvo Gesser. Thank you all for being here today, and thanks for all you do for our community. And please make sure you come out. That's a great fundraiser for Girls Incorporated, and it's a great way to celebrate women's contributions in our community. Farm City Breakfast is on February the 29th. That's Leap Day, y'all, okay? So we're going to get together on Leap Day and enjoy great breakfast with, it's actually cooked by Old South Barbecue at the Davis County High School cafeteria. Mr. Robbins, thank you so much for graciously hosting us every year. We appreciate you and your staff and your ag teachers more than we can say. Also want to just ask you to come out and celebrate Kirby Green. She, as you saw, she won a national award. We're so proud of her. And it's just great to, as you'll see today, to celebrate the youth that we have now in agriculture. We talk often about talent recruitment and retention. And our ag leaders in this community, they are practicing that every day. You'll see young people moving through this community and moving up and leading not just our state, but our country, and they're living here in Owensboro. So it's a lot to celebrate. Come out that day. And we need to have just as many people on the city side as we have on the farm side, because we are all one community. So let's celebrate that community together. We have a ribbon cutting at Owensboro Family Wellness with Dr. Jessica Mills on February the 19th. And also the CYP have a networking lunch at Briar Patch Restaurant, a new chamber member, on February the 12th. And then they have Wine Down Wednesday. Why is wine? Is it wine or wine? Wine Down Wednesday. I don't know what that's all about. But that's going to be February 26th at the Commerce Center. And that's a way for our young professionals to get together. They have wine tasting, talk, and just develop friendships and relationships in the community. Our lifestyle health plans, as you know, we're offering two health insurance programs for our members. And just last week, we unveiled a work comp program we were being told that it's at least a 10% savings. If you're interested in any programs, please contact Jaclyn Graves, and we'd be happy to refer you to member agents that are giving those programs. The member memo, that's our monthly memo that goes to you talking about what's going on in the chamber. And if you're interested in being a part of that, Hannah Thurman puts that out. It's a great way for you to do discounts, to talk about just things that are going on, employment openings, internship openings, and events, which is a big thing for our local nonprofits. Chamber Matters is at your place. There's a long list of chamber renewals. We put those there every month, so you'll look through those. Those are people in the community that are investing in our chamber, not just because it's good for business, because they know investing in this organization brings the community up to a higher level. So please look through that. And I do want to say something about our ag community. There is not another sector in this community that believes and practices more of buying local than the ag community. And it's such an honor to watch you all really kind of practice what we preach. So thank you. And I just want to thank you, too, on behalf of our staff for the great partnerships that we always have with you. It's one of the joys of our jobs to get to work with you all the time. It's quite an honor. And John and Clancy in the back, they're here. They got caffeine. They make us happy. Love you guys. And with that, I will sit down and pass it on to Chad. Thank you all.
So before we introduce this amazing panel this morning and our moderator, I actually have to bow out gracefully this morning. Like so many people in this room, I support a variety of causes. It's no secret in this room that I will gladly take the front lines for specific causes, especially if I think that they can make social or economic or environmental or medical change. I always say I'll gladly be there on the front lines. I'm there if I can make that happen. And today is day one of our St. Jude Radiothon at WBKR. And so I know that I love the tagline, Stronger Together. I love that. So for the next 2 days, I'm going to be on the air for 26 hours raising money for the kids of St. Jude because I know that when people join together, great things happen. I've seen those miracles. We have some here in Owensboro, Davis County. I saw Ben Halbig this morning. He stopped by the station. That kid's 11. Years ago, he went to have his tonsils taken out like so many elementary school children do. He left the doctor's office with cancer. He had Burkitt's. But St. Jude cured him. And so he walked into the station this morning. He's a living example of what the power of that hospital is. This shirt saves lives. I have to go help save lives. I love you all. You're in for a great panel. I'll see you next month. I have to introduce our brand new board chair, everybody. Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce, Clay Ford.
Chad, thank you for what you're getting ready to do for St. Jude and the radio station. I'll excuse his little bit of confusion there, because I get to be board chair the following year. Jack Wells is our current board chair, and he's not here this morning, so I get to take his job. We're excited that he's going to be serving this year, and appreciate the opportunity to introduce this wonderful panel that we're going to be hearing from this morning. So I'm going to take a few minutes to read our bios and introduce and make sure everybody knows who that we're going to be hearing from this morning. And as I introduce them, please do come on up so that we can hear from all of you. Thank you all for being here this morning. It's a great crowd, and we're excited to hear from our agribusiness community. So our first panelist is Senator Matt Cecil. He's a local entrepreneur and small business owner. He's one of the youngest members ever elected to the Kentucky State Senate. His 8th district includes Davis, McLean, and Hancock counties. Cecil started Cecil Steel at the age of 19. And after 11 years of growth, the company has grown to 120 employees with 4 different branches. Matt grew up working on the family farm from an early age, primarily raising corn, soybeans, and early tobacco. He graduated from Davis County High School and obtained an American Welding Society welding degree from Owensboro Community and Technical College. His pride and joy are his 3 precious children, Claire, Abram, and Cyrus. In the State Senate, Cecil currently serves on the Appropriations and Revenue as Vice Chairman of Agriculture, Natural Resource, and Energy Committees, and Subcommittee Chairman on Human Resources. He is a former state representative for the 14th District for a term, board member of Independence Bank, Men's Brotherhood at Yellow Creek Baptist Church, former executive board member of Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation, former FAME executive board member, 2016 Owensboro Community and Technical College Distinguished Alumni, Kentucky Corn Growers Association state board member, and serves as deacon at Yellow Creek Baptist Church. Cecil was the co-founder of Huts for Haiti Mission Team in 2014. He is the co-owner of Mid-American Grain Solutions, has been a member of the Owensboro Chamber of Commerce since 2010. Please welcome Senator Matt Cecil. Thank you, Senator. Our next panelist is Brandon Gillis. Brandon's passion for all things agriculture began at an early age. He was born and raised on his family farm in western Davis County, raising livestock, grain, and tobacco. He gained an appreciation for the farm and all the lessons it taught. Upon graduating high school, he moved to Lexington, where he earned his degree in agricultural economics at the University of Kentucky. Brandon is currently a financial officer at Farm Credit Mid-America, serving the Owensboro marketplace. He is still involved in the farm part-time and is an active member of many agricultural organizations throughout the community and state. Brandon is also a 2021 MBA candidate at Northern Kentucky University. Please welcome Brandon Gillis. Our next panelist, Daniel Hayden. Daniel is a commercial cow, calf, and broiler poultry producer in Whitesville, Kentucky. After receiving an agricultural business degree from Murray State University in 2011, he returned home to manage his family's farm. Since returning to the farm, he has focused on growing the farm to sustain generations and implementing best management practices throughout his operation. Passionate about giving the public a glass walls approach to the farm, Daniel shares his day-to-day work life through his social media accounts. In 2018, he added the first viewing room in the United States to the farm's newest poultry houses in order to allow visitors to fully experience the farm. Welcome, Daniel Hayden. Thank you, Daniel. And our last panelist is Suzanne Cecil White. Suzanne has always believed she could. An educator from her youngest days, Suzanne's personal mission from late childhood has been to be a positive, encouraging example for others in all that she does. For nearly 10 years as a high school mathematics teacher and accelerated learning programs facilitator with a master's degree in educational administration, she poured daily inspiration into young minds. Facilitation and teaching took Suzanne across the country to lead programs at locations such as Stanford and Wake Forest universities. In 2011, Suzanne was presented with the opportunity for a complete career and lifestyle change. She now operates Cecil Farms Produce, LLC, a commercial fruit and vegetable operation where her produce is reaching major grocery chains across the nation, as well as regional schools, restaurants, and local homes weekly throughout Kentucky's harvest season. Her husband and 2 children support her ambition and dreams tremendously. With educating coming naturally, she operates multiple community educational programs for students from her farming operation. Most recently, Suzanne has opened her second business, diving into the wedding industry headfirst with her premier venue, the White Chateau. Please welcome Suzanne Cecil White. And finally, our moderator. Everybody knows Rod Kegel. Rod is a farmer in western Davis County with his two sons, Luke and Clay. And Rod has served a number of community organizations and currently serves on the Greater Owensboro Chamber Board of Directors. He is a member of Pleasant Grove Baptist Church, where he is a deacon and a Sunday school teacher. Kegel is a graduate of the University of Kentucky with a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. His wife, Lois, is a retired teacher from West Louisville Elementary, and he has 3 beautiful granddaughters that are the light of his life. On a personal note, I got to work for Rod and for Lois. Worked for Lois on Fridays when I was on the farm in high school, and learned a lot from their family, and really respect what you all do as a family and as a business. Thank you all for being here today. We look forward to hearing from the panel.
Thank you, Clay. Mark Twain said that when the end of the world comes, I want to be in Kentucky. They're 20 years behind everything. We got a panel here today that is changing that. They're changing our position, not only in the nation, in the state, and in our community, by leadership and entrepreneurship. Candace describes agribusiness as stubborn optimism. I was emphasizing your point. Yeah, I forgot. Stubborn optimism. These panelists have had opportunities to do things different than they are doing now. School teachers, educators. One thing about Matt, and I'm going to start with him on this question, but Matt had an opportunity that most young farmers would give their eye teeth for. He had an uncle and a father that, in my estimation, are the best 2 farmers in Davis County. It's amazing what they do. And Matt decided he could improve on that. And he's farming and introduced him as small business. Got 120 employees. When does it get to be big business? But Matt, you have had a lot of opportunities. You could have gone other places. And the chamber, one of our biggest efforts is how do we make this a unique place for young people, a place that they want to come to, a place that they want to be involved in. And a place where they want to live and stay. And so, man, I'm going to let you answer that first, and then we'll come right across the panel.
Me that was your microphone, I think, accidentally, but I had to stand up to talk. It feels weird to sit in the chair there, but Rod, thank you for that. And I was very, very blessed to be raised on a family farm. By an uncle and father who taught me the value of hard work and taught me the value of honesty, hard work for a day's pay. And when we look at our community, I'm just here in this chair, and I was just looking out across the things going in and out. And I look at all the faces out here of people who have poured into my life, who have given me the opportunity to be able to employ those 120 people that show up every day and give it their best so they can provide for their family. And that's because we are a unit here in this community. My good friend Jonathan's standing back here from the central part of Kentucky, and I would be remiss to say that I allocate for this community across the state because we offer so many things that so many other areas across this country would just love to have. Look at the diversity of our economy in this area. Look at the amount of people here that are sitting around the table, they go to work and do something different every day. Look at our educational institutions, public and private, that we offer here in our community for the next generation. Look at our hospital. Look at the healthcare access that we have here in Owensboro and surrounding areas. And if you look at our agriculture community, people come from all over the state of Kentucky to bring their commodities here to our town, to be loaded on the most valuable asset that we have here in the community, that Ohio River. And so if I was a young person and I was looking for a place to settle, this would be a community I would look at. You can't go down the road more than 2 miles, 3 miles, and you'll pass a church. The moral fabric of this community is here. You know, there's a group of men and women right now that have cooked all night long so they can sell barbecue in front of a store today to raise money for children who are experiencing illness and cancer. And they don't have any recognition. They're doing it because they love the community. And so if I was a young person, those are just a few things to start with of why I would want to settle here.
All right, and one of the things that I really enjoy about this community, one of the things that made me want to come back here is that all 4 of us probably had opportunities, just like everyone else in this room had opportunities, but it's a sense of community that we have here in Owensboro, Davis County, and the surrounding area. This area is a hub for agriculture. Like Matt said, the river is our interstate system. We have farmers from all over the area. We have farmers that are coming from 3 hours away bringing their grain to Owensboro. So there is a huge amount of agriculture business that goes on within Owensboro. And just the community as a whole. These 3 people up here, along with me, are just a couple of the strong leaders we have here in Davis County in the agricultural community. Through the CALP class, I know Suzanne, she's been a part of it. Daniel's in the class right now. We also have Anthony Jones, Jim Gillis, and Wes Poole are also members of that class. It's an intensive leadership program within the state of Kentucky that helps to grow agricultural leaders. So it's not like that across the state. Owensboro, Davis County, we usually have strong support for that program. So the leadership's very strong in this area as well. To be able to have people from outside Owensboro come into Owensboro and see what we've done as a city is great. I have friends from outside of town that come in. They see the family atmosphere that Owensboro has, along with some of the large city amenities that we also provide. And they say this is a great place to look to come to and raise a family. So I think that's also a huge factor that we have going for us as well. So with all those things considered, that's why this is a great place to be. We have support from our local FFA teachers, our local FFA students. Those are going to be your next group of leaders. And I commend many of us who are in FFA as well, and just the support that we have from there. We're known across the state and nation for our Young Farmer organization. So we appreciate all the leadership that comes from this area, and the future does look bright.
So like my bio said, that I went to school at Mercer State University and came back to the farm. I'll piggyback on what Matt said. The sense of community that we have in this area specifically, and it's not just Owensboro, but to hear from my lovely wife from Oklahoma come here and did not realize how fortunate we are in our community to have the support of everyone, not just our community leaders, our elected officials, not just the schools. It's everyone involved, including us in the agriculture community. We surround people that are struggling. We help them. We lift them up. That is one of the most attractive things about bringing anyone back to this area specifically, but being involved in some statewide organizations. Kentucky's some of the strongest organizations that are, for example, the Kentucky Cattlemen's Association. It's one of the strongest cattlemen's organizations in the country, second to Texas. Our involvement at DC, just representing Kentucky, is so influential that I don't see how it wouldn't be attractive to anyone, especially in the agriculture community, to come back. And it is hard to come back to the family farm. Our margins are pretty tight. I have 4 other siblings. I'm the only one that was able to come back and farm. But I have the rest of them live in Kentucky, seeing the economic viability of our state. And if we can just keep that up, we have tremendous momentum going forward to build that, to make us more attractive and bring the younger generation back to Kentucky. We may not all be able to fit in Owensboro, but we can come back to Kentucky. And that's the things that I see, and that's what brought me back, and that keeps people coming back. And just like Matt and Brandon both said, when people come and visit, they love what they see. And if we can keep that up, I see a bright future for bringing the younger generations back to our community.
Coming back to the farm was the last thing I ever imagined I would do. And now I've embraced it since 2011. Being away from Owensboro for 10 years and coming back, anyone that has lived away or came from anywhere else knows that it's hard or it's scary to walk into a community. And you've got to reconnect and build new relationships because you've been gone and disconnected. And Owensboro has embraced me. And what I love about Owensboro and the opportunity for the young people in Owensboro and in agriculture or any kind of business is I've been able to do new things. I've been able to throw out new ideas and they've been embraced. You haven't required me to do the same old thing. And that's the agriculture community embracing me. That's my family embracing me, but that's also Owensboro as a whole from day one. When I stepped foot back in this community in 2011, said, yes, we love your ideas. You know, I don't know what you're doing, but we love the energy and they're welcome and open to it. And so that's the opportunity we have for young people. And as I look for people to work for me at my operation every year, I'm looking for that young person to step onto my farm and say, hey, why don't you try this? I want those different ideas because that's what Owensboro has been to me. And that's what I'm looking for from the young community as well.
Mary, do you understand that? What she expects out of her people that are working for her on her farm? You know, this group is superstars. Any community in the state or our nation, can you hear me all right? If any community in our state or our nation would be willing and enjoy to have these young people involved in their community, but we're lucky we have them here. Not only are they great in the field that they pursue, but they have set examples for all of us to aspire to. And for them to be involved at the level they are in their community. You know, you heard Daniel there talk about adversity, the tough time that we've had in agriculture. You heard Clint refer to losing 25% of our gross revenue. Brandon came back. He could have stayed on the farm, but he saw a chance and an opportunity to expand not only himself but his farm. And he works at Farm Credit. And I'd like for each of you to address this question, but Brandon working at Farm Credit and being a young farmer at the same time, these adversities are real. How does that impact a young person that's trying to get a hold in agriculture?
Well, that's what I really do. I have a unique situation working at Farm Credit and also being a young farmer myself. I get to see the viewpoints that many of my younger customers come in, like Rod and Clint both alluded to. Net farm income is at 10-year lows. If you see farmers, you know farmers, just talk to them. Just talk to them. Be a shoulder to lean on, things like that, because they're going through tougher times right now, just like many of your businesses has gone through tough times. So we have those ebbs and flows just like every other business out there. So make sure you're doing that. But as far as my position at Farm Credit, working with young farmers, the biggest thing that young farmers have issues getting is that access to capital. So I know we have a strong system here in the state of Kentucky. We're very fortunate. Not every state has the Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation through the Governor's Office of Ag Policy. That's something we utilize very strongly in this region. It's a low interest low interest loan product that many of us utilize, and it just helps us with our cash flow. Like Daniel said, margins are tight. So the lower interest loans really help our farmers and helps them to have higher margins, things along those lines. Also, our farm service agency has been huge, and we partner with them often. One thing we've been able to do at Farm Credit that's been very helpful with our young farmers is we have a young farmer program. What that is, it just loosens our underwriting standards, and we do an educational program. So we go through a financial boot camp with our young farmers, and it's able to allow them to learn what they need to do financially to be successful, how to do financial documents themselves, things like that. So I know a lot of other lenders in the area, they do a lot of similar things. So we all work together very well as a community, and that's one of the things we have a very supportive community for the agriculture industry.
Want all of us to address this issue? I wish I'd known that beforehand. For a young farmer to get into farming, just like Brandon alluded to, getting access to capital is one of the most challenging things we have. Another thing that we are unique in our businesses, we will put all of our inputs, all of our overhead is invested before we know what we're getting out of anything that we're investing in. We are subject to the volatility of our markets, and that is extremely hard and extremely risky for a loan institute to give me a $2 million loan just to go out there and play farmer for a while, because we are the volatility of everything that we do, because Mother Nature is one of our volatile inputs that we cannot predict, we cannot control. And that affects everything. And of course, I don't raise row crops, but I am just as subject to that in the cattle that I raise as the next guy raising corn and soybeans. So I understand the risk and how hard it is for a young farmer to get into it for that. And for our community throughout this state has helped me tremendously, personally, throughout my ag business that I run, to help me look at different ways of approaching how to make our cash flows actually work to sustain our business for my future generation, for my kids that I will have, so that their kids can do what I do today. And that's one thing that we, as an ag community, really advocate very hard, being close relations to some of our senators and representatives at a state level and federal level. And being at the table keeps you off the menu, just like Candace alluded to earlier. And that's what we do as our farming community, and that's how some of our young farmers are able to actually get into this and strive because of the support that we have.
How many of you have been to the White Chateau? If you haven't been, schedule something there. If you get an opportunity to go, go. It's a great place what they've done out there. And Suzanne is thinking outside the box. And I want you to address that a little bit, Suzanne, if you're first.
Being a female in agriculture, I think is very different than being a man in agriculture. For a lot of obvious reasons. As a female, I'm very emotional. And a female wears their emotions on their sleeves a lot. And so I experience the emotions so differently than my dad or my brother or any of these guys up here. And so I've learned so much in the last 10 years working in the farming operation, and the emotional toll, and experiencing the very lows where I went from a steady, regular paycheck that I knew was coming every week to not knowing ever, and spending hard, long winters of no income, hoping, as we say, for the new season. And I learned a new optimism, because I've always been an optimist, but I realized I wasn't the optimist that all these generational farmers have been. and especially my dad. And so having that support and the people is what I need. I've needed the people around me telling me, you know, when we're at these really low points that we've been the last 3 years, and I want to get emotional about it and upset, to keep going, that it's going to be okay. And so I developed the White Chateau out of a lot of the things I've learned over these last 10 years, because I see a need for relationship and connection on our farm and to our farm. But I also see that we've got to do something different, and I can't rely on just one thing in our farming operation to carry us through. And all of us up here, you'll see that we have multiple businesses, multiple aspects to our operation, because when tobacco decides not to pay you 1 penny, when you've grown it and you've raised it and you take it to sell and they won't take it, that's a surprise. That was not expected or planned for. Or when the watermelon crop is wiped out because it rains all through June, the month of June, and the climate has never been like that in history. We have to have these other options and other ideas. But the deeper piece behind me doing this venue is because I'm seeing that the relationship with you all is more important than anything for the future of agriculture. And if I can give you that opportunity to spend a couple of hours on a farm, even if you're not coming there with the intention of learning about the farm or agriculture, you're coming to celebrate one of your family members having the best day of their life, I'm making that connection and giving you that opportunity to experience what most people in this world don't experience on a day-to-day basis.
Matt, give us a 2-minute take on him. Okay?
I promised Candace that I would say anything political. So when you hand a politician a microphone, you realize how difficult that is. So I'm going to just, well, this microphone keeps going, I'm going to throw it and start talking normally. So, you know, when we talk about a young person in the room coming back to the family farm and continuing a career in agriculture, I want to just take a second to let you all visually see what we're talking about. So if you are an active, full-time farmer in the room right now, can you stand up just for a second? I promise I won't point you out. Alex. Thank you all. 1.8% of our population not only feeds this nation, but many other nations around the world. They are one of the most resilient group of men and women in the world. And we thank them every day for what they do, because when we wake up and we enjoy those 3 meals a day, hardly any of us probably ever think about where did it come from. The reason that we're the strongest nation in the world is because we have the most abundant food supply from this group of people. But it's getting tough. It's getting very, very difficult to make an income on the farm alone. And that's why you're seeing this group of panelists here that are venturing out, being entrepreneurs and looking at different areas. A lot of people probably wonder, what did Matt do to get in the steel business? Well, I can probably say it might have been by accident, because when I left the farm, I really wanted to farm on my own. But I learned real quick how difficult that was to do organically. So I started welding in my garage at nighttime. I used to take the baler boxes for the burley tobacco and I'd move them out after the tobacco was stripped, and I'd bring in my welding tables and I would start welding for people. I think Billy Murphy might be standing back here in the back corner, and I remember doing stuff for Right Implement, many of you others in the room, and begin to diversify. You can't grow steel. You can melt it, but you can't grow it. And you know, agriculture, there's so much diversification in it. You know, they say 73% of all the jobs in America revolve around our food, one way or another. And you know, I took up the steel side of it. Have an opportunity to work with a lot of many farmers in the room on the commercial side and on the farm side. And so, you know, we're very creative and looking for different avenues all the time to continue that income. And I know we got some other questions, so I'm going to cut it short here.
much time I got? Daniel, your wife is from Oklahoma. One of the biggest projects we have in the chamber is how do we get the message out and how do we make Owensboro more attractive to young people, young entrepreneurs that don't know about us? What do you see that we could do better? For silver bullet, I don't have, but the unrelenting work that the chamber has done leaps and bounds past our surrounding cities, our surrounding communities, to make Owensboro more attractive. I mean, we have relatives that come in from all across the United States, from California to Texas to Oklahoma, and all they do is talk about how awesome their experience is in Owensboro. From the people they just have experience with beyond my wife and I and my family to the riverfront. That is one of the first comments I get from anyone that's not from around here is our riverfront. And the businesses that surround that riverfront of the experience they have with that community. But to spread that message, to highlight it, honestly, the team at the chamber has done a better job than I could ever even think about doing, because I keep my nose to the grindstone at my farm most of the time, and I poke my head out to just scream what we're doing on our farm every once in a while. And, you know, that's one thing that we've tried to do on our farm is promote what we're doing. When my wife and I got married, she's from Oklahoma, was in a poultry area, and didn't have any idea about it. She saw what we were doing on our farm. We had four commercial poultry houses at the time, and she said, "This is nothing like I thought it would be." So she said, "I want to do a project to show the world on how their chicken is actually raised." And unbeknownst to her, the chicken industry was not open to that. So we got the opportunity to build 4 more houses. We raised 4 at Purdue, and I called corporate Purdue after consulting with Danielle, and we came up with a plan to install a viewing room on one of our chicken houses. We didn't know how it would be received, but the first thing they said, "This is the best Christmas gift anyone could have given us," because they saw the need to highlight what we're doing. And me, from the outside looking in to the chamber, before even doing this project of this viewing room, I saw how great it can be to highlight what we're actually doing. And so we installed the first viewing room for a commercial poultry operation in the United States. We've had 28 different countries and 8 different states through that viewing room in 2 years. And it's been one of the most eye-opening and humbling experiences of my life, all thanks to my wife, to be honest. And I enjoy it every day. I mean, it's awesome. And that's what the Owensboro Chamber of Commerce is doing to highlight what we're doing here in Owensboro is people talk about it. I mean, I travel throughout the state along with the other 3 panelists up here. We travel everywhere, and we hear it from other people. And that's the benefit of watching that really drove me to believe in what Danielle came up with and to highlight what we're doing.
You know, with what Daniel's saying really reminds me that something that maybe you aren't aware of. You heard Daniel say that Hayden Farms grows for the label of Purdue. Purdue is the label you know that's in your grocery store. That's the one we know. And that's the one that maybe gets the bad name that these big factory farms, and we're wanting to eliminate animal agriculture because of so-called environmental impact that actually doesn't exist. What I want you to know, Cecil Farms, we grow watermelons that are in all of your grocery stores. But the label on that watermelon does not say Cecil Farms. It says Melon One. Melon One is the big umbrella brand. Your favorite jelly that you've eaten your whole life, whether it's Smuckers, or the cake box that you pick up, the brownie box, Ghirardelli, the double chocolate. Anybody like those? That's my favorite. That Ghirardelli brand actually is produced in Hopkinsville, Kentucky at Continental Mills using grain from Kentucky and Tennessee farmers. But you don't see those names, these farmers that you're sitting right here, their name's not on it. But that's what that big bad factory name is. It's an umbrella of 20 or 30 Hayden Farms, Gillis Farms, Jaclyn's, Cecil's, Kegel's, the milk brands. You know, and we see this famous coffee company making this wonderful, proud announcement that they're going to help the environment and eliminate the use of animal products and dairy. They're not helping and getting rid of the big factory. Walmart's just going to take that over. They're eliminating 20 small farmers right here. They're not eliminating the factory. So I just thought it was really important to say, because when Daniel said that he's growing under the label Purdue, there's a real face to these big so-called factories, these big names that I feel like it's easy as a community that is not, or a community member that's not in agriculture. You're constantly seeing what I'm seeing in the media and on Facebook that is saying plant-based diet. And you know, and I'm not an animal farmer. I am that plant person. That's what we grow. But I think people are missing and not realizing that all those big brands happen because of all of us little farms.
Yeah, and I know that one of the main things that we've talked about here was education. One thing that Farm Bureau does really well is that our board does educate. Our extension program is very strong in the state of Kentucky. That's educating the next generation of not only farmers, but your children out there as well that aren't part of the farming operation and never had a chance to be on a farm. They're doing a great job of educating Ag in the Classroom and Farm Bureau. They're able to reach a broad span across the state of Kentucky and educate our younger generation on the farm. So with that, we would really like to see the younger generation. We see some great things coming out of Frankfort and Washington. Kentucky's been very involved from a legislative perspective. I know Matt with Senate Bill 81, House Bill 336. A lot of our local legislators have been very supportive here in Kentucky. One of the big things going forward that we're going to have challenges with in agriculture is cell-based protein. So cell-based protein will be one of those things that we need to have proper labeling on. And so that's one of the main things that we want to see going forward is that our young people are innovative, but we're also doing things correctly and have proper labeling on these new innovative products.
Andy said we're out of time. Matt said he's got 2 minutes.
I'm going to lay this microphone down too. And you know, so we're here today because of the Chamber of Commerce. And we want to know, what can we do to attract young people back to our community? We support one another. We buy local. That's why we all go to work every day, so we can earn a living to support our families and see the next generation raising a community. So if I could have the silver bullet and tell you all what I think we can continue to get better and better and better at is buy from one another. When people buy from people, lives are changed. And so that would be my business that I want to go out there today, because that's why we're here today, to network, to grow together, to help one another. And so keep practicing that, and we will be continuing to set the bar higher in Kentucky.
A big thank you to our moderator. I know Chad got better looking, didn't he? I do want to apologize for the microphone issues. I know the sound was in and out, but the message was very clear. And from the Chamber of Commerce, we want to say how much we appreciate our agriculture community and how much that we know that it's important to this community. And even though about 20 of you all stood up and said you were farmers, I bet at least 75% of you all could raise your hand if you say that what you do at work interacts with the agriculture community. So I hope that we continue support our friends in the agriculture business, and know that we appreciate you and that we're proud to work with you and for you to grow Greater Owensboro. So thank you all so much for being here today. We appreciate you and hope to see you back on March the 5th. Have a great day.